Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I was contemplating doing something for my Barcelona career, but instead I've realised in these 2 week periods I usually like doing a wildcard video and I've not even thought of doing one. So literally I've had no idea of what I'd want to do for it, what I'd want to do on a wildcard. So right now we're going to go through a wildcard video. I'm going to watch my brain explode all over the pitch and figure out who I would bring in my wildcard for this 2 week break that we're in the FA Cup. And a lot of people are playing the wildcard this week because they've got a new wildcard back. I don't recommend it. I recommend holding on to that wildcard for a while and see who comes in January. Wait and see what you can do for the double game weeks that happen eventually later in the year. Got to get my words out there. But let's get into who I'd get in for a wildcard now, because I'm not going to do another one of these until March by the time we get another international break. Let's talk about wildcards. Right, starting in goal. I don't really want Fleckham. I don't even want Leno. I do not want Tarkowski. Saliba, perfect. If you're not going to sleep in your team, you need to sleep in your team. I'd take Trippier out right now too. Porro can stay and Pau Torres can go. I do prefer another Villa defender, but we'll get into that in a second. Jared Bowen, I think, has to stay. Richarlison can go. Right now, right. We'll keep Salah for now. I do like Salah, so I'm going to keep him in the team for now. Watkins, I think, has to stay. Solanke has to stay. And Nkunku's got a hip injury. Oh, that's really annoying for me. In my actual transfers, trying to think about who I'm going to bring in. But, right, we're going to ignore it for now. This is a video about you guys and who you're going to use for your wildcard, because I ain't going to use my wildcard this week. But we're going to start in goal. And our first goalkeeper in the team, I think, has to be Areola at his price at 4.2 million to get in the team. Is a player that I want to get in my team again. I took him out a couple of weeks ago, and ever since I took him out, he's been on form. He conceded 5 at Anfield and he went, whoa, 1 minute, I need to keep clean sheets now. So he's back in the team. Leno, potential, yeah. Neto's also got potential as well for Bournemouth. But if you look at their fixtures, it's not a nice set of run of fixtures. You know, a nice game here in 23-24. But if you look at West Ham, you know what, it's a good rotation with Areola. So actually, Neto is quite a good shout, to be fair. Who's he playing there in that 23-24? Forest and Fulham. Hey, it's not bad at all. Hey, it's not bad at all. I think that's a good rotation actually. Areola and Neto, that's your 2 goalkeepers. Absolutely sorted for you. Let's see if there's anyone else. I said Areola's the main guy, and look, 23-24. You see Spurs and Man City at Everton. While Spurs are seeing Everton and Brighton, also not the nicest of games. Onana will be at AFCON. Look, international duty, 50% of the playing. That's crazy. Apparently he's agreed to play 2 games within 24 hours, and I'm like, please don't do that. Give Bayindir a chance. Emi Martinez, I said he's a Villa defender that I prefer more. James Trafford getting up on there on the points wise. I don't think anyone else deserves really looking at. Maybe Wolves once again 23-24. It's not the best, right? I think that's the best goalkeeper partnership you can get right now, and that's guaranteed. Saliba at centre back and Porro in the defence. Perfect. I'm not going to complain about those. Let's look at our defenders that we can bring in. A lot of people might have Trippier, a lot of people might have Trent. I'm not a fan. It's a lot of money in a defender, and you know they're not performing that amazingly compared to other defenders for a lot cheaper. When you can put that money into a midfielder who will perform better for you. What is happening to my mouth right now? I've already got an Arsenal defender. I don't need another Arsenal defender. I don't want a Crystal Palace defender. You know, the results, you know, so that might come in soon. So Joachim Anderson can go into the team for now, and if we see a better option, we'll bring in a better option. Pau Torres. See, yeah, that's why I like Pau Torres in my actual team. He got an ankle injury right now, but I just like him. I like him. United defenders, it's not worth the risk right now because you don't know who's going to be playing. See, I said I prefer a certain Villa defender, but I don't know where he's gone. There he is, Matty Cash. This guy performs and he performs and he performs. Get in the team. There's 1 more defender spot left, and we don't really to fill it. But let's go on to the midfield and see if any midfielders are tickling my fancy. Right now, we'll start with this one. Is if you want to take out your team, but keep that Liverpool player in and bring in Luis Diaz. I think it's going to perform just as well, but we're going to keep Salah in now because what you want to do, you have to keep that money for when Salah does get back. You want to keep that money, so we're going to keep Salah in so we know how much money we're working with here. A lot of people might move to a Haaland and stuff like that, but he's still injured. You don't want him. I think Cunha could be the potential what you move to. You know, people like an Alexander Isak has potential as well, especially whilst Wilson is injured. And he's going to be injured for a while. He's not back till the end of January. So Isak could be a guy, but playing against City and Villa, not easy games at all. Chris Wood moving up the list now. But I think, you know, Cunha, maybe Alvarez. Alvarez has potential, but I just not like the way City have been playing recently. So we're going to bring in Cunha. I'm probably biased, you know, against the way City are playing. Let's face that, guys. I'm going to be honest here. I am biased. You know, what can we say? As I said before, I don't really like Brighton players because of the rotation. I don't like City players because of the rotation. But let's look at some midfielders. Son, obviously international duty. Hwang Ki-chan, international duty. If you're going to go for a Newcastle player, Gordon's probably your man. He gets results, he gets points in. And, you know, he has really found his form this season. It's nice to see someone find the form like that. For Villa, you could get Diaby, or he's a lot further down, Bailey. Both good options, I think. I probably lean towards more Bailey right now, but Diaby obviously still a strong option. But let's bring in Bailey because he is a bit cheaper. He still plays as many games and he gets involved a lot. Like you see here, assist against Arsenal, goal against City. You know, I think Diaby's more like to start a game, but you know, still get involved in the goals. And look, he's not even guaranteed to start the games either. Mr. Diaby though, still a baller. Who else could you get in? You know, Douglas Luiz, he's guaranteed start, to be fair, and he takes all the set pieces, and he does get a goal there because he takes the penalties as well. So, you know, Douglas Luiz could be a guy as well if you're really fancying that one. Spurs right now, obviously I don't really fancy any Spurs players because they've lost the two best players, with Maddison being injured and Son being away on a nice little international trip. You could look at Gibbs White, who has been improved recently, especially under Nuno. He has found a bit of form. Cole Palmer, I feel like, is probably the guy we're going to be talking about here. Cole Palmer playing really well right now, and he's on form. But that Liverpool game could trip him up. But, you know, he's got Wolves then after that, and then Crystal Palace. But it's a tough run after that. So let's look at some other options that you could have as well. So you got Saka in the team right now. Saka's had a few bad games, but he still gets points. He still gets points, and that's what it's about. It's not about, these players don't have to play amazing every game week. What they have to do is get me some points. McNeil, I think, is a good option, playing well under Sean Dyche this season. Tavernier, as I said, if you got Matoma, you may as well have Tavernier instead. Anyone that's had Matoma, you want to replace him with someone, replace him with Tavernier, because they're the exact same player for point wise. You know, Matoma's obviously the better player, but for points on FPL, Tavernier is Matoma. He just is. They just are the same player. You can see that 3-point difference. So I am speaking facts when I say stuff like this. As I said, you know, you might even be tempted to you know, go, oh, I want to keep Salah in for this time. I'm going to not play Baylor, and I'm just going to have Luis Diaz in there, so we could still have that Liverpool boost, which, you know, is fair enough. I might be doing that in myself in my actual team. I have to have a look at what I'm going to do with my actual team, really. And then we've just got one more defender, and we've got 8 mil to spend, so you know where we may as well go and spend it on Trent, because everyone's got Trent, and I feel like that's probably the best team you can get. But let's talk about the safest team as well. Everyone total points, team selected by all players. Areola, most selected goalkeeper. Not a lot of people have Neto though. Neto only 3.5% owned, so he could be a good rotational option for your Areola. And then when Areola has a bad game week, bringing in Neto is going to get you points on them rotation game weeks. So it'd be really worth it. Obviously, loads of people on Trippier. People have moved up for Saliba. I've had Saliba since the start of the year. I've backed him. He's been in my team from day one because he just gets points. He's just so much better than Gabriel. And loads of people like Gabriel at the start of the year. And I'm so glad it's dropped off. Like, can you look at percentage owned by through the game weeks? Oh my god, how do you even scroll across this? There we go. What's this? NT? I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know how to look at it. But he has dropped off. A stupid and you know what? You know, he's back in the Brighton team now. Brighton have a nice couple of runs. See, this is why you got to look at stuff like this, guys, because it gets the ideas flowing. And then you might not want a Joachim Anderson anymore. You might want a stupid and instead for the same price. And he's more likely to start the games. Kind of more likely. But Anderson's still highly owned. City's most owned is Kyle Walker. He starts every game, to be fair. I'm just scared of getting him in. I'll get him in and he won't be starting the game. Saka and Salah still the highest owned. With Bowen still up there. Palmer, as I said, he's just an essential right now, especially for his price at 5.6. He's risen from that 5 of when I first looked at him. But 5.6 now, 29% owned. A lot of people like him. But then it also leaves, Luis Diaz is my 6.1% exactly. While people don't have Salah, it's good to get him in. And up front, Watkins obviously being the most owned. Haaland absolutely dropping every week. And it's nice to see people finally, it's 53% owned still. And he's still not playing. You think you're going to get a little thing off if he plays this game week low and then I get some points. But 53% of people still own him, so you may as well just get rid of him because he's just not worth it. It's a lot of money to be wasting in your team, especially now that Salah's gone too. Solanke moving up in his ratings, but then that just leaves me with Acuna. And Acuna is only 6.9% owned by teams. It's worth it. These investments are really worth it, guys, because if you look on the drop, it is crazy. Any other midfielders like me, I'm looking at Rashford and Bruno, just as a United fan. No, I'm alright. If I want to go for a United midfielder, I'll go Garnacho because it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. Look how good Neto is here. How far he dropped. So many more keepers are ahead of him on ownership. Even Dubravka is ahead of him, which I feel like is such an insult to how Neto has been playing. Even Pope, who's been injured for ages, he's not back until April. So Dubravka is a good shout, but right now with Newcastle's games, he's not a good shout. Maybe after in February, the results start looking nicer. Yeah, Dubravka might be a shout, but right now, no, I'm alright. Who else are we looking at here? There's no one here. It's Garnacho at 5.1%. That's the kind of play that I'd like out of my team because he does get results, he does get points, and he's playing with a lot more confidence right now, and that is nice to see. Højlund, he's finally got his goal. Can he get some more goals? Oh, it'd be brilliant to see. Brilliant. Eze at 3% owned. He gets involved in the goals, and that's what you need in your midfielders. You need these midfielders to get involved in goals, and he certainly does. Mitchell at 3.6 is a decent one, to be fair. A lot of people go in for an Anderson, but Mitchell still gets up in the pitch still. Oh, see, this is like the place where you're going to be looking at is how many people own this player. If I get this player in, how well will I advance off having this player in my team? Look how well Neto's doing. Like, how low down he is. He's still lower than this, I believe. Sorry, what was he? 3.5. I must have gone past him, actually. Sorry, was he on that page then? Oh, these are 2s. I must have gone past him, yeah. A lot of these are injured or just don't really play. People benefit off it. Oh, you know what? This guy is back now. He's back. He played 10 minutes against Everton. But now that Hwang's gone, he's come back in and he's going to start getting his assists again because he loves an assist, this guy does. Look at that. Until he got injured here. Assist, goal. Involved in every single game week. From game week 3 until game week 10. 7 game weeks in a row getting involved in goals, and now he's back. It might be a worthwhile investment for you guys, especially while Hwang has gone. He's going to be playing. Petrovic could be a shout as well. Johnny Evans could be a shout. Just on that United defence being 1% owned. Benefits. It's the benefits of these players not being owned by everyone under the sun. You can really benefit off it. Even Chris Richards is playing a lot of games. He's not getting points, but he's playing the games, and he's not playing in the mid-defence either. So when he does get a defensive stat, it helps him a lot. Welbeck back from injury. Ivan Toney, he's back now. He's back to play against Forest. You can play the risk and see if he's going to play, but I don't think he will. See, a lot of these players are injured and they're still owned and owned and owned and owned and owned. Martial being owned by players, Duran being owned by people, and he doesn't even start. It is weird. A lot of this is down to the Kaminsky, 0.3% owned. Okay, but that's what I think is the best set of transfers you can make right now. Obviously, you might take Salah out for the Diaz and then bring in Neto or something. But as I said, keep that money aside so that when Salah comes back, you can get him back in the team straight away, or you can bring in Haaland, whoever you want. But yeah, I think that's the best team you're going for. That team's got a bit of everything in it, and it's got the points. You know it's going to get points for you. As I look at my team, I have a little sneak peek on how my team is looking, and it's just not it right now, is it? It's just not it at all. Hopefully these injuries aren't anything serious. If you look at my actual team coming to next game week, I'm currently contemplating taking out Flecken, Richarlison and Trippier. I think I might take a -8 this week just because it's needed, but then that still leaves me with 2 potentially injured players coming into the game week, and only, you know, Trippier coming to the team there as well. But obviously I want Luis Diaz in a team. I want maybe another defender. I'm not too bothered about the other defender. If I don't get it, I don't get it. But I do want another goalkeeper. I do want to bring in Areola into the team, and I want Luis Diaz in the team. And then that might leave me with another transfer if I feel like it. But right now we're going to sit on it. That's a video for Friday, not for today. I do thank you for watching this video, guys. If you do leave a like, if you do like the video, leave a like. It'll be much appreciated. Let me know in the comments who you're thinking of bringing in, what you think you'd do with a wild card for this game week. I've gone through what I'd think I'd do, but I'm not using my wild card this week. I'll hold my hands up. But if you want to see more like this, subscribe. There's always plenty more coming on this channel. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.